Hi guys, welcome to this week's lesson on creating 3D virtual art in Second Life. Today we're going to be having a beginner's course on pottery. Before we get started, please make sure you've installed the prerequisite software that is needed for this lesson, and that is the Java Runtime Engine version 1.6 or higher, and the apps SculptiPaint and Rokuro. If you haven't, be sure to check out the website at the entrance of the gallery, as we provided all the links for you to download the software for free. Alrighty, let's get started. First, you want to open up SculptiPaint. So SculptiPaint is basically an app that allows you to create textures for prims. And a prim stands for a primitive building block, and it's basically everything that Second Life is made out of. From this bench to the tree to even my hair. Everything is made from prims. And the software is one of the many free softwares available for you to create textures for prims. I'll just show you a little bit about this software. It comes with a bunch of pre-installed textures. This one is the flower tool. Okay, so it's not a very pretty flower, but it is a flower nevertheless. You can also randomize the color scheme. There's multiple tools here. You can basically create anything. You're only limited by imagination, really. And then you can actually edit this point by point under the drawing tool section. This is a bit complicated for this lesson, so we're going to go ahead and use another app to help us, and that's Rokuro. So before we use Rokuro, please make sure you've downloaded the pod examples file available on this website. Just pop in the URL to your normal browser, download the file, unzip it, and we're good to go. So we want to go ahead to View and Load Background. Then we're going to go to our pod examples file that we just downloaded, and we want to pick any pot. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to go with the handmade burnished Mexican clay pot. Don't mind that. That's just the wedding bells or the church bells in Second Life. Just ignore that. So let's go back to our Rokuro. Okay, so you kind of want to trace the outline of this pot. You can put any pots. You can actually put any image in this app and just trace it. It's basically going to create the texture for SculptiPaint, and you can select many points by just clicking and dragging your cursor over them. Since this is a pot, we want to make it hollow, so we're going to go ahead and select the points on the inside and drag them to mirror the outline. Excuse me. Yep, that's pretty much it. I took the liberty of doing this example beforehand just to save time for the purposes of this lesson. As you can see, it's looking nice and smooth, hollow. So we're just going to go to File over here, and we're going to go to Save as TGA. So we're just going to save it here. I'm just going to overwrite this file, and yeah. Now, since SculptiPaint can only open PNG files, we're just going to find any free converter on the internet. So you can see here there's a TGA to PNG converter. Let's go for a free one. Now let's upload our file. Cool. And convert it. Just make sure you have a good antivirus so that you don't download any bugs or malware. Okay, it's converting. Okay, download it, and then we're just going to go ahead and open up wherever we save this image to. Here it is. Just note, it is supposed to look like this. We're uploading a 3D object into the software, so it is going to look a bit different. So you can just drag this, copy it, and you are going to get a warning message. That's totally fine. Just load as new script. Okay, it's looking a little bit funny, which is fine. Just go ahead and reset the texture. Okay, that's cool. Just go ahead and drop it again, save, and there we go. We have a pot. It's looking pretty cool. We can soften up the edges if we want. Just go to Smooth Script. I just went to Drawing Tool and Smooth. Yeah, it's looking nice and refined. So all we want to do is save it. Once we're done fiddling with whatever we need to, you can just go and save it right here. Just note that it does save wherever you set up your installation files. I unzipped my file under download, so I just go to SculptiPaint and you'll see a whole bunch of textures that I've already made, and luckily they are time and date stamped, so you will know exactly which file you created. I'm just gonna, this one is the right one, I'm just gonna save it as pot, say pot 2. Oops, bit of a weird naming convention, just gonna change that. Cool, now we're gonna go ahead and jump into Second Life. I'm just gonna go to next ed, the island, and teleport. It is worth noting that whatever you create using these tools, you can put up on the Second Life marketplace to sell, which is pretty cool. Let's just find a prim that we can edit. Let's see if one of these floating ones will work. Okay, edit. Woohoo, we can edit it. So let's bring it on over. And I'm just going to make it a bit bigger so you can see what exactly happens. Okay, so when you're under the editing section, you're just going to go to Object and click on Box and go right down to the Sculpted option. This is just going to allow us to bring in our own textures. And as you can see, this looks pretty familiar. So to import the file, you're just going to go to Textures and Add. And then we're going to go to Upload Image. So look for that PNG file you just converted. That's this one, looking pretty good. You're gonna open it, and we're just gonna click on the actual texture, and we're gonna drag it across to this sculpted texture on the prim. And in a few seconds, you should see the pot we've just created. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Just bring that a bit closer. Just walk on over there. Okay, it's looking pretty cool, nice and hollow. It's pretty much exactly what we created in Sculpty Paint, which is really cool. Looking a bit boring though, we can change the texture. You can change it. You can use the color picker already under the edit section, but it's not really the look we're going for. So you just want to click on texture, upload, and image. And in the pot example file, we have a whole bunch of textures here. You can import your own texture, just kind of get an image with a pattern that you want to be repeated and upload it. It's pretty cool. So same thing, just click and drag it across to the texture box and upload it or drop it. And as you can see, we have our pot. It's looking pretty cool. Could have been smoothened out a little bit more, but you guys can customize your pots to look how you want. Yeah, so that's the lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing the pots that you guys create. Hope you learned something from this lesson. Thank you.